How's it going? So, this is a very different podcast, YouTube video in a sense, in that for the first time, it's coming from Mexico. I got out of Ireland about 8 or 9 days ago, and I've tried to leave Ireland for a very long time. So, I'm very pleased to be out of that country. Corona and COVID obviously has changed the world quite a bit. I had trouble getting into the United States. I was unable to get into the United States. They've blocked visitors from the UK and Ireland. So I've had to come through Mexico, but I've decided to stay in Mexico. I'm going to go to America all right next week for a few weeks to visit friends, and then I'm going to come back to Mexico and stay here for the coming months. I don't intend to return to Ireland anyway, or certainly not to live there. I'm sick of the place. So Corona has caused all sorts of economic problems, and there is economic and other kinds of chaos, I think, on the cards. But as I'll talk about in coming podcasts, the eye of the needle, in finding our energetic way through these things untouched, and that is possible. This kind of stuff can be kicking off in the world, and maybe we get sucked into it and we have to protest, or we get vaccinated, or whatever it may be. But also, if we focus and if we're doing our work and clear and grounded enough, we find our way through those loopholes, unmolested, untouched. That is possible. So that's why I'm in Mexico. I have been active, over the last few weeks and months. Instagram, I'm just quite active on. I'm quite busy on. So if you don't follow me there and you want to keep in touch with this kind of work, that's really seems to be the most regular place for me to post. I sent out a newsletter this morning as well on price changes. The shadow work course is going up. Is also now a refresher course for anyone who did do the 8-week shadow work course before. There's now a 4-week course available, which is just lighter, cheaper, easier, and just helps you to reconnect with this work and reconnect with me. And we'd work for 4 weeks together just to kind of get a deeper level of presence and witnessing whatever the situations are being presented to you. Really, the purpose of today's video is nothing new in a sense, but more and more people are asking me questions. What do I do with this? But what do I do with that? I feel I need to get through this or that. And my most disappointing answer I have for everyone is, if we center ourselves, we find our way through, we're guided through it. The problem is, it's the intellect, it's the mind. There's a few people around me at the moment who are dying, who are dying, and I mean that energetically. The burden on the mind, the exhaustion on the mind of analysis, trying to figure out, trying to understand, it's fucking exhausting. For me, I've grown further and further away from that kind of living and that kind of thinking. It's about feeling. If you imagine that the intellect and the mind, you've reached the end of the road. Can't go any further. You can't think your way into an open heart. You can't understand that. Now, you might be listening to that and think, oh, that's not what I want. I want to be famous, or I want to be fucking, I don't know, I want to manifest a fucking camel. I don't know, whatever you want, go for it. I'm probably not the man to be listening to if that's the case. But if we're talking of moving into a broader awareness, an interdimensional awareness, beyond this physical world, so that the being that we're wearing, the physical suit that we're wearing, is giving us constant feedback. The more in tune with this instrument that we can become, the more we can read our surroundings and the frequencies that are presented to us through news or food or people or whatever it may be. The feedback is in the body. If we're not grounded and in tune with the body, that's why we've come here. Remember, we've come here to have a physical human experience. There's a lot of spiritual people who don't really pay attention to the body because they think, no, it must be the mind. It's the mind. It's connecting to higher realities and all this kind of stuff. Cool. But I mean, why the fuck did you come to Earth? If you are this spiritual being, why not just fucking stay out there as a spiritual being? The reality is, you're on Earth. You've come to this human body, this human vessel or flesh suit to work, to have an experience. If you're going to ignore that, you're overlooking why you're here, and your growth just stalls. And we're looking at a world of stalled people who are, in most cases, lost in the mind, lost in analysis, lost in the news and out there. And then the spiritual people who are just lost in information. Stupid exercises, books, information. You can't think yourself into a colour. It's fucking impossible. You can't feel a colour through your mind. As a woman said to me, Mary Daly, years ago when I learned TM, Transcendental Meditation, one of the first things she said was, she can describe the strawberry to me, the colour, the texture, the size, shape. I can look at a picture of it, but fucking biting into the strawberry is a world apart. So of all the junk that we've read about different dimensions and heart chakra opening and I don't know, all this stuff of change and Kundalini awakenings, it's information. It helps us in a sense to put into perspective what may be unfolding for us. That's great. You got a framework of what might be happening. Cool. That's worlds away from a Kundalini awakening or any kind of shift on this level. So my work ultimately is moving people as quickly and sternly as possible away from the mind and away from analysis. All our power is in the body, is in the being right now on earth. All these chakras, all this feedback system that we're not paying any fucking attention to, or ignoring. Now, I've been asked a few times of late about the questions people have. The answer is all the same. So how do I do this? How do I do that? But what about, my relationship, or what about, and my answer is always the same. We can come back to the body. We can witness the frequencies that are being presented to us. You are the walking, living, breathing manifestation of your family line's DNA and of all your own experiences, integrated and unintegrated, be it this life, previous lives, and the family line. So all the abuse, all the rapes, all the murders that you did and that they all did, perhaps enlightenment or ascension all down that line, the breakthroughs, the breakups, breakdowns, all that stuff. You're walking around emanating the combined frequency of these experiences. It's a unique mathematical program, a unique code, unique to you. No one else has that collective of all those experiences from different people in different parts of the world that is in your blood cells. So the being that you are is drawing in unique, specific experiences and frequencies that match you, that match the being that you are, that match the frequencies that you are working with. So all you need to learn to do, it's very simple, it's too simple, is witness and integrate the frequencies. That's it. As I said to someone last night, it's actually it's so simple. No one does it, or 99.99999% of people don't do it because they want to read a book and they want to do a course and they have to get a certificate and they want to climb Mount Everest and they have all these things that have to be fucking done. Whereas if you actually just be on earth, be in the body and witness the frequencies that are passing through. For example, I find myself in this apartment in Mexico. Is it by coincidence? It's certainly not by coincidence. Even though I spent 3 or 4 months trying to go to Corfu in Greece, I'm fucking in Mexico. I didn't plan to come to Mexico. I'm only in Mexico because I couldn't get into America. And now I realize I want to stay here. So I find myself in this apartment. Is it by chance? Is it by coincidence? Of course not. My own frequency has generated this experience, these paintings on the walls, these cushions, this view, noise or lack of noise. And it's all a frequency for me to witness and integrate. Now, we may look at this and go, I don't like that place, or I love this place, or whatever it may be. Or worse, ignore it completely. It's just an apartment. It doesn't fucking mean anything. I'm not looking at it as just an apartment. Well, I'm looking at it from two perspectives. One, I lived in my car for 4 fucking years, so I'm grateful to have a roof over my head and a bed and a shower and a kitchen. But secondly, the frequency of of the structure of this entire room or place matches me. I've drawn it in for a reason. There's work in this place. You know, if I go through an airport, if I walk down to the shops, wherever I go, I've drawn in this frequency to integrate. Now, the complicated mind of the spiritual person is ignoring all of this completely, because it's not in some fancy fucking book or expensive retreat, you know, with some fucking guru. All I do is witness what my higher self and my own frequency is drawing in. As I witness these frequencies and integrate them, allow them to pass through my core, build and expand my growth and awareness of what it's like to be in this human body, to feel the frequency of the painting, of the plant, of the dog, feel it pass through. I gain more and more downloads and awareness. I've had more and more communication with other beings. My own light languages have expanded. A lot has happened in the last few weeks. Consistently, daily, my daily practice, sometimes all day long, is whatever I'm doing is just to be present with it, moving, witnessing. So my past lives are presented to me in the painting, in the dog that walks past. The human mind will think it's just a dog. Ignore it. You know, the person is rude in the shop, we just fucking ignore it. It's not. It's a match to my frequency. There's purpose in it. Why is this person saying this? Because they're presenting a frequency for me to react, for my being to respond to. I don't need to figure out and ask them, have you come from 1363? Do you come from the future? Who fucking cares? It doesn't matter. If we're aiming here for peace, I suppose that's a good question to pose to yourself. What are you looking for? And in a way, that's the kind of cross you're going to die on. If your answer is, I want to know what my purpose is, you're in fucking trouble. If your answer is, I need to know where I have to go or what guidance in my life, you're in trouble. I wish you well. I don't think I can help you. If you want peace, you're on the right track, and I can help. Guidance, knowing who we are, knowing where we're from, knowing where we're going, there's no peace in that. It's information. It might be exciting for 10 minutes. Oh, I'm from the fucking Pleiades, I'm whatever. I'm the Archangel Michael reborn. Great. 10 minutes. Good luck. Now you still have years and years of trauma from yourself, from the collective, from your family line. That's all being passed through you. Good luck. You know, when you're 2 o'clock in the morning, you think, I'm the Archangel Michael. Yeah, that's going to be great fun when you're suicidal and you've the gun in your mouth. So the aim is peace. If I can find peace, I don't give a fuck about information. I have little interest in it. And it comes to me. Those of you who know me know, I suppose, what does come through me through light languages or communication with other beings, the reasons I'm in Mexico, all that kind of thing. But I'm not going looking for it. It's not my priority. It's not going to fulfill me. It's not going to make me happy. But it does come to me because we do have guidance of what we're doing here, where to work, where to go, what to do. But the aim is peace. The aim is to be grounded in my being, regardless of the circumstances, and witness and honor all consciousness. The dog, the rude person in the shop, the painting, the apartment, whatever it may be. So to wrap up, I know this is crushing to people with strong egos and strong minds. There's fucking nothing for you to do. The only thing is to be present. Be in your body on earth. Slow down. Move away from the analysis. Move away from the mind. That's a killer. People get angry when they hear that because they need some mission. They have some purpose that they have to do. They have to find what they're doing here on earth and they have to fucking go and do it. And they need 19 courses to book into and money to spend and all that kind of stuff. It's all a fucking circus. It's distraction. It's your ego trying to build up how important and spiritual you are. It's nonsense. Slow down. Be silent. I put money on it. I guarantee if you were silent with me for a while, I guarantee your guidance will come through. I've seen people change in person and on camera. Once I ground them, everything settles. All that fucking circus, spinning of plates in the mind settles, slows down, and then they begin to meet themselves. The joy and the horror and the pain and the trauma and all that stuff they've been running away from for a long time. So know that in every day in the life that you're in, as perhaps unfulfilling or unsatisfying as it may be, or challenging or tiring or whatever, that life is designed for you. As you can overcome that and integrate whatever the energetic lessons are there, and they're not intellectual, it's a frequency you have to feel. As you feel that, you'll move through it. It is, in each moment we are in our greatest moment, our greatest opportunity to expand and evolve. It's not in 3 weeks' time. It's not in the retreat or in the right book or with the right guru. It's right here, right now, in this moment. But we just struggle to be present, and we're not conscious enough to witness it. Anyway, I hope that was of use. Feel free to comment below. Just to let you know, my phone number, WhatsApp number has changed for any previous people who were in contact or previous clients. Send an email, get in contact if you need my number again, and we can sort out sessions or any kind of work. So yeah, be present, honor who you are, and be free. See what happens. Thanks for listening.